this is Tyler back in with another video, and today we're going to give some feedback on PSA. PSA recently communicated out a survey at the beginning of February. Today it is about 10 days since that survey was released. I'm attempting to take the survey, but unfortunately they are not accepting responses at this time. So what I want to do is actually vocalize what are my thoughts about PSA right now, and unfortunately they're not that great. So in this video we're going to go through current thoughts on PSA. It is an ever-evolving mood swing as it relates to PSA, and right now it is on the down swing. It is not on an upswing, and we're going to walk through exactly why that is. The reason why I wanted to fill out this survey and have it be recorded and distributed out on my channel, similar to my last survey, is I want to provide some feedback to PSA. I want to do that by showing everyone just how off they are operationally. There's a lot of chatter out there that PSA has improved their turnaround times, which I will say in aggregate, in general, that is the case. However, they have deep-rooted operational inefficiencies, and I'm going to be showing you exactly why that is here on my order sheet. Go to my PSA orders. You can see every single order that I've submitted basically through September that'll show up on here, and I want everyone to really focus on when these orders actually popped, and I want you to focus on the outstanding orders. As you look at my orders, there is outstanding orders from October. There's an outstanding order from the end of November. There's an order that arrived at PSA's doorsteps on 12/30/2022. It hasn't even been entered yet. Then there is also an order that I submitted a week later that did arrive, and this order you're actually going to see is in the stage of QA2. There's another order that arrived on the 3rd of February. Okay, that one got entered, and it's an 85 card order. A day or so later, there's another one that arrived. They finally logged it and scanned it as arrived on 2/6, which is a Monday, and it has not been entered yet. So I really want to vocalize my frustration with the inconsistency of PSA's lack of a first in, first out process. And the reason why I'm showing this here is, one, to raise awareness to this issue, because you're continuously seeing people who are sending in small orders, and those small orders, as you can see here, are flying through the system. But if you are sending in a big order, unfortunately those big orders are not flying through the system. They are being stuck in some black hole, and whenever you contact customer service, you get the standard, well, it's on track to be met by the deadline. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So if we look at my October order, just look at the volume of orders that were submitted around this time frame. Again, all of these were broken out. There's nothing that's really differentiating about this order that should make it stand out in terms of, taking a lot of time. These are all modern cards. They're not vintage cards. The oldest card in here may be a 97 Finest MJ or Kobe, something you all have likely seen me grade. There may be a 2012 Panini Prism Wilt Chamberlain Silver Prism in there. I don't know if that's going to take a little bit extra, but if we clicked at this order, you can actually see, I don't want to open these up because it does show my addresses, etc. in there, so I'm trying to, as much as I can, to hide some of the confidential information on here. But this order, again, is just a modern order. So if I click on it, it's gonna show. So this order right here is in the research stage. So as you see here, this order, again, 181 cards, 1026, it is still in the research stage. This is just completely unacceptable. If you look at the other orders that were submitted in around that same time frame, so arrived 10/18, 10/18, that order popped in November, which is less than a month. This order popped in basically 5-6 weeks. This order, again, is not logged. No clue why. This one actually was a larger order. It was arrived a day after, and it popped in the beginning of December, first week of December. So why is it that we are now 2 months? 2 months. So we go from December to January, January to February. We're past 2 months, and my order has not even been logged in terms of hitting the grading stage. I can't even see a list of my cards. So I've been in contact with PSA on the phone, and they have essentially provided zero advice, zero recommendations. It's still getting logged, it's still being processed. Some orders take longer than others. The typical BS responses. Nat Turner, someone out there high up, you have got to fix this. Right now, it's great that all of your small orders are flying through, but I'm sorry, I'm sending in bigger orders. The bigger orders are getting stuck in the back of the line. I have no idea why that's the case. That creates zero incentive for me to send you a big order. That creates zero incentive for me to send you more cards that give you more volume. More cards, bigger orders, that should be an operational efficiency, not an inefficiency, because you can do everything at once. Log it at once, grade it at once, ship it at once. It's not broken up into a bunch of little packages. I'm essentially aggregating a large order for you. Yes, they're all my cards, but I'm aggregating these cards in one large order. Why is it that they are being put to the back of the line? Doesn't make sense. So in this time, again, PSA is grading about 1 million cards per month, right? This order arrived in October. It was entered 10/26. 1 million cards were graded in November. 1 million cards were graded in December. 1 million cards were graded in January. We've had 3 million cards plus, because it is February 10th at the time of this recording, and actually, so it's a half a month, 3.5 months worth of grading. So 3.5 million cards have been processed, and this one is still stuck in a black hole. So I've called PSA and requested that this order get shipped back to me. They said it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks to find the order. So that kind of kiboshed that. Now I'm in communication with their customer service. Their customer service is, again, trying to find the order. Operational inefficiencies, they are trying to locate the order. I cannot tell you how disappointed this is, because I submitted this order. This is an $18 order. For those of you who remember, in November, the holiday special kicked in at $15. All of my $15 orders are now back in hand, with the exception of this 332 card order. Of course, the big order, you can see 2 of these orders arrived at the same time, 11/29, both value orders. One popped in a month. It was a 105 card order. The bigger order, this one fortunately is in QA1. Now it's in the QA1 hellhole, the black hole that is QA, where they're popping out cards and downgrading them, etc. So that's happening to my order right now as it stands, but hopefully within the next month, I will likely get this 332 card order back. Still way longer than what it should have been. We're looking at roughly 50-ish business days right now, so it is on track for that 65 business day turnaround time. As of today, this is 73 business days for the October one, and there's no end in sight whatsoever. We go up to this order. This one is getting extremely frustrating as well. This order was received last year, technically. Last year. So we are looking at 6 weeks, and the order has not even been entered. I mean, this is approaching the territory of whenever PSA got mass flooded in 2021, whenever they shut down, and you saw the orders getting entered 2-3 months later on down the line. This is what this is turning into. So it says arrived. I have the arrived email. It has not even been logged. So for all the people out there saying, hey, PSA's turning through this stuff really, really quick. Okay, yeah, you sent a 34 card order. Yeah, they're turning through that. This order right here is in QA2. So let's go ahead, let's click on a couple of these. So we've looked at the 181 card order. This is okay, so 332 just popped into QA2 this morning. So that one did go into QA2. That's good. Maybe I'll get that one back in 2 weeks. This is the 34 card order. So again, if we're in a first in, first out process, why is it that an order that arrived 11/29 is at the same spot as an order that arrived on 1/6? Why is this order not finished? Why is the November one not finished? I mean, it's bad enough that they're really screwing up this one and it's not even into the grading stage yet. Why this one should absolutely be finished. Why is it that I also submitted a 76 card order 2 weeks after that one, and I got it back in the beginning of January? So again, PSA's graded 1 million cards since that order came out, and it's still not finished. Not that much of a gripe, because there's a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. But this order right here, what are we doing, guys? Literally, what are we doing? Where is this first in, first out process? So the 34 card order, which is right above it, again, this arrived 5 weeks later. It was entered in 6 days. It is a 34 card order. It is now in QA2. Somebody explain that to me. It's not explainable. So again, I'm bringing awareness. This is me highlighting my frustration with PSA. I've done a ton of PSA reveals. I've been on the PSA bandwagon, but we're calling out crap whenever it needs to be called out. This is, Nat, you have to get on this. or someone operationally needs to get on this. How there is not a process that says, hey, what is the earliest order that arrived? Is there a mechanism that we can flag specific orders that have not been entered by a specific date? How is it not a KPI at PSA? This is all interfaced in their data. They have all of this data. How do they not have a flagging system that says, oh my God, we have an order that has not been entered. It has taken 5 weeks and it still hasn't been entered. I mean, maybe they do have that process and maybe they just lost that order as well. Maybe the 414 card order is lost. Maybe the 181 card order is lost. I don't know. Maybe it's about $50,000 or $60,000 that PSA owes me, depending on the value of these orders. Maybe I'm going to get a check for 60 grand in a couple of months. Who knows? But we shall see. Let's see. What is the last order here? So the last order, again, this is shaping up to be exactly like these previous orders. So the theme is if you submit a big order of 150 plus cards, it looks like it is going into a black hole. 181 cards, not logged. 332, way behind. 414, not logged. 255, not logged. So I'm seeing a theme here. If you send small orders, for whatever reason, they are flying through. If you send big orders, it's like whoever gets this big box just takes it and throws it in a corner, and it just sits there. And it just gets ignored, and it's not in the pipeline. It's not in the process. It's just over there in a black hole. How many packages are out there that are like that? I don't know. Be interesting to know. So that is the bulk of my feedback is their operational inefficiency. You know, I paid for a service. I paid for, an $18 special here. I could have literally waited or broken this up into smaller orders and paid $15 and got the order back within a month or a month and a half ago. Literally, I could have done that. And if I'd have known that, and that's what I'm emailing PSA's customer support, I'm like, what can I do on my end to get these orders through quicker? What is it that I need to do? Like, tell me, I'm sending you modern cards. Do I need to do certain modern cards in a specific way? Like, tell me what I need to do to prevent this from happening. Because clearly there's something going wrong where my orders, a specific type of order is getting stuck in a PSA black hole. The only thing that I can see so far is small orders fly through, big orders do not. So that's my feedback, man. In addition to just the outright crazy grades that's happening, get slammed with some PSA 9s, I crack them out, send them to another company, 72% gem rate, including some pristines. I mean, not good. So on a scale of, 0 to 10 in terms of overall satisfaction, 10 is highly, very satisfied. 0 is not satisfied at all. I'll get a 4. 2023, we're at about a 4. I gave PSA the benefit of the doubt whenever they got 10 million cards and shut everything down. I understand that. They were late to pull the trigger. They were going through ownership changes. Totally get that. And then all the crap that people gave them in 2021 was really not warranted. Oh, their cheapest prices are $300 a card, then $200 a card. Well, of course they can't lower the prices because they have a huge backlog they have to go through. Logic. This is not logical. This goes against their promise to really adhere to a first in, first out process. This is not first in, first out at all. And it's something that the other grading companies are doing. Granted, they have low volume. The reason why they're doing first in, first out is because they have no volume. PSA gets 1 million cards a month. At the same time, though, this has to be fixed. This has to be highlighted. This has to be brought forth for the world to see, for all the PSA people out there who are submitting cards to see. And I'm just saying, do not send, as of right today, don't send in a big order. Based on my small sample size, I'm not saying that this is representative of everyone. My recommendation is don't send a big order. Don't do it. So I'm going to start breaking things up. Less than 100 cards, that's it. Anything over 100 cards, not doing it. And also my submissions are lower this year. They're going to be substantially lower. The prices are just absolutely insane. The margin is just simply not there. With the fees, the transaction fees for selling, the grading fees, so much of the margin on a card that you should make is going to the pockets of PSA, and then it's also going to the investors at eBay, unfortunately. Right now, it's very difficult to squeeze out those margins like we had previously because everyone wants a piece of the pie. And that overall unsatisfaction. I mean, that's part of it. That's just how the market has evolved. But PSA really needs to get this in check because this is a disaster. All right, guys, that is all I got for today. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend. We will see you next time.